Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Prasadanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tera Banachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashoda Nandana Vrajajana Ranjana Amuna Tera Banachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Shri Krishna Janmashtami Maha Mahotsav ki. So we are going to read from Srimad Bhagavatam, and you may be surprised today. I am going to read a Lila that most of you have heard it, and majority of you think that you actually have understood it. So I will explain why this is very difficult to understand. I'll ask some questions because, as I told you, Krishna consciousness is not something very easy to understand. Krishna consciousness is about the absolute divinity, and hence it is very difficult for us to understand each and every Lila. So I am going to today read chapter 8 from Srimad Bhagavatam. And Lord Krishna shows the universal form within his mouth. And how many of you think that you understand this Lila? This is the problem. Many of you think actually you actually understand this Lila, and I will show you that how we don't understand anything about this Lila. So chapter 8, so dear devotees, I will read the translation only. If necessary, sometime I will go to the purport, otherwise I am going to skip the purport. And mostly I come prepared with the purport. So sometime, if it is necessary, then I will speak or I will refer to the purport. Otherwise, I am going to just read. I have another book here, Saratha Darshini, and this is Bhanu Swami is the translator, and this is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary. So we are going to only refer Prabhupada's purport and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary. This will be our material, and based on my own realization, I am going to focus on each of this topic. As we saw yesterday, all those three topics we are going to cover actually. What made Krishna to flee from the battlefield with Jarasandha, and then I'm asking, what are the other two questions? They are not listening. I'm really in shock. When I read even the quiz, right? Anybody who remembers?
So why Krishna took birth in the zoo?
Matsya Avatar, as a Matsya. And why did he beg? Why did he beg? Why did he beg? Right? So, and when Vrindavan Das Thakur says he doesn't understand, our great Radhakant Das says, no, I understand everything. So this is the problem. Our Acharya Vrindavan Das Thakur is saying, I don't understand these things. And here, self-styled Acharyas like Radhakant Das, Piyush Sehgal, Pavan Goyal, Hariom Birla, Abhishek Panchal, Mukunda Madhusudan, Vinay Gupta, Vipul Arora, they all say, oh, I understand it. This is our problem. Or Lila Purushottam says, I understand it. So that is my rascaldom. When great devotees are saying they don't understand and we say we understood, means how shallow is our consciousness. And in fact, when we say we understand, we believe that we have understood. Like spiritual life, none of you are either me also. I don't understand. I'm the soul. I'm not the body. I'm the soul. I'm not the body. I don't understand. I have meditated on it so many times. I still don't understand. Because you will not understand unless until you are a liberated soul. Okay? So these are the things that we need to focus. So let us, I will be a little slow as we go, but we will pick up. Today, I will be still slow. Sukadeva Goswami said, O Maharaj Parikshit, the priest of the Yadu dynasty, namely Garga Muni, who was highly elevated in austerity and penance, was then inspired by Vasudeva to go and see Nanda Maharaj at his home. So, I would skip this part of this part of the because I don't want okay, so here it is. So let us start from text 24. Within the house of Nanda Maharaj, the cowherd ladies would enjoy seeing the pastimes of babies, Rama and Krishna. The babies would catch ends of the calves' tails, and the calves would drag them here and there. The calf is there, you hold on the tail, and what will happen? The calf would try to run away. So that means they are dragging these two babies. So now the question here is, if same Krishna can kill Putana, they are being dragged by whom? The calves. These are intriguing questions. Leela, one is that you hear as a story. The other is to enter within the divinity. And we don't enter into divinity. How is it possible that a the baby Krishna who has the glory of killing Trinavarta, Sakatasura and Putana is being dragged by a calf. Did you ever contemplate on it? So that is why it is said, when you read Bhagavatam, hear Bhagavatam, you should go to a person who knows Bhagavata, who knows how to read Bhagavata. When the ladies saw these pastimes, they certainly stopped their household activities and laughed and enjoyed these incidents. When Mother Yashoda and Rohini were unable to protect the babies from calamities, threatened by horned cows, by fire, by animals with claws and teeth such as monkeys, dogs and cats, and by thorns, swords and other weapons on the ground, they were always in anxiety. Their household engagements were disturbed. At that time, they were fully equipoised in the transcendental ecstasy known as the distress of material affection, for this was arose within their mind. Small babies, they'll go and catch fire, isn't it? They will catch fire. Babies like to catch fire. So the question is, Krishna and Balaram, they were also catching the fire. They are God, but why they are catching fire? Why they were holding on to the tail of the calf? And there are so many, they were living in forest. When you live in a forest, Gokul is a forest, Vrindavan is a forest. So when you live in a forest, there are ample number of animals like monkeys, dogs, cats, and their kids are there, right there. So because of that, Mother Yashoda and Rohini were always in anxiety. Anybody who has become a father or a mother knows the anxiety of rearing a kid. And when you have a kid like Krishna and Balaram, you have extra, the stress will be enormous. But then these are not ordinary mothers. O King Parikshit, within a very short time, both Rama and Krishna began to walk very easily in Gokul on their legs by their own strength without the need to crawl. Thereafter, Lord Krishna, along with Balaram, began to play with the other children of the cowherd man, thus awakening the transcendental bliss of the cowherd woman. Observing the very attractive, childish restlessness of Krishna, all the gopis in the neighborhood, to hear about Krishna's activities again and again, would approach Mother Yashoda and speak to her as follows. It is not the ladies didn't have their own children, their own kids, but they are so naturally attracted to Krishna. On some pretext or other, they would land up in the house or courtyard of Mother Yashoda. Okay? Some would say, Yashoda, I'm finished with salt. Please give me a little salt. Or somebody would say, the entire cord pot has been broken and they have been polluted. I need some fresh cord to make new cord. To make cord, you need some cord, right? So like that, in so many contexts, they will arrive in Mother Yashoda's courtyard, not because they wanted something from Mother Yashoda, but to enjoy the pastimes of Krishna and Balaram. Our dear friend Yashoda, your son sometimes comes to our houses before the milking of the cows and releases the calves. And when master of the house becomes angry, your son merely smiles. Sometimes he devises some process by which he steals palatable curd, butter and milk, which he then eats and drinks. When the monkeys assemble, he divides it with them, and when the monkeys have their bellies so full that they won't take more, he breaks the pots. Sometimes, if he gets no opportunity to steal butter or milk from a house, he will be angry at the householders, and for his revenge, he will agitate the small children by pinching them. And then when the children begin crying, Krishna will go away. So Krishna was very sararati, and his naughtiness are being described by this. As I told you, in Krishna Chaitanya Lila also, everybody were transcendentally harassed by Nimai, and those elderly people as well as young girls, they would all go complain to Jagannath Mishra and Sachimata, and they enjoyed it. Okay? They enjoyed it. When the milk and curd are kept high on a swing hanging from the ceiling, and Krishna and Balaram cannot reach it, they arrange to reach it by piling up various planks and turning upside down the mortar for grinding spices. Being quite aware of content of a pot, they pick holes in it. While the elderly gopis go about their household affairs, Krishna and Balaram sometimes go into dark room, brightening the place with the valuable jewels and ornament on their bodies, and taking advantage of this light by stealing. Dear devotees, Krishna and Balaram are expert. They are naturally expert in doing some kind of sararat. Sararat means mischief. Mischief is originally there within Krishna. Mischief that Krishna does is transcendental. Mischief I do, you do, is based on modes of material nature. When Krishna is caught in his naughty activities, the master of the house will say to him, "Oh, you are a thief," and artificially express anger at Krishna. Krishna will then reply, "I am not a thief, you are a thief," which is correct, because everything is his. If he goes to any house, butter, milk, whatever they have in their house, all belongs to Krishna. In fact, everything belongs to Krishna. So if you have the audacity to say Krishna is a thief, that means you are a bigger thief. Sometimes being angry, Krishna passes urine and stool in a neat and clean place in our houses. But now our dear friend Yashoda, this expert thief is sitting before you like a very good boy. So, Krishna passes urine and stool. We say Krishna is transcendental. So there is no urine or so-called stool or urine that can come out. There cannot be any toxic in the body of Krishna. So how this is happening? Who can answer this question? Krishna's body will never, ever give rise to toxic substance in the form of either urine or stool. Sometime all the gopis would look at Krishna sitting there, his eyes fearful, so that his mother would not chastise him. And when they saw Krishna's beautiful face, instead of chastising him, they would simply look up on his face and enjoy transcendental bliss. Mother Yashoda would mildly smile at all this fun, and she would not want to chastise her blessed transcendental child. Imagine, when someone comes with a complaint at your house against your child, and many of you who are students who do not know what is called what it is to become father and mother, will not be able to understand. But someone brings a complaint against your own child, you go really mad. But Mother Yashoda, looking at the innocence of his own son, she forgot all that insult hurled at her. Actually, these are not insult, right? These are all reciprocation, transcendental reciprocation. So suppose Krishna steals. Think about it, Krishna steals. And everybody knows, Krishna is God. Everything is his. So if he steals, it's all right. Then, where is the fun? There is no fun at all. Everybody would allow Krishna, okay, you go and steal, destroy, do whatever you want to do with our curd, butter, milk. You have full license. No. Rather, they are rebuking Krishna. Krishna, who is the master of everyone, he is being rebuked. There is a complaint against Krishna. So should we say they are doing offense to Krishna? To call Krishna as a thief is a great offense. And ladies of Braj are calling Krishna as a thief. Okay? So the point here is, these ladies, they have so much of love for Krishna that they can say that Krishna is stealing. Okay? And if they are not rebuking, they are not there with a stick to frighten Krishna, then Krishna would not enjoy his transcendental personality. After all, he is a small kid. He's a transcendental personality, he is the absolute truth, but he's a small kid. That is true. Krishna as a small kid is not a false thing. He is a small kid. And he fears the stick of Mother Yashoda, stick of Yashoda's friends. These are all true. And this is really bewildering. Queen Kunti says she doesn't understand. And Radhakant says, I understand. Meher Pritam would say, I understand. And then, Anmal Avasti say, I understand 10 times better than everybody else. Queen Kunti doesn't understand this. What they don't understand. So let me go through this whole thing. We'll come back to all these points. I would like each one of you, take each point and start introspecting and start giving answer. And see, are you able to give an answer? Right? And what is the difficulty in giving the answer? We have to find out. When you do that, then you will see. You will go deep within your persona and you will see the ignorance within you. And you will pray to Krishna, Krishna, may your pastime cleanse my ignorance. But when I hear all this as a storyline, my dear friends, that is not done. That is not done. One day, while Krishna was playing with his small playmates, including Balaram, other sons of the Gopas, all his friends came together and lodged a complaint to Mother Yashoda. Mother, Mother, Krishna has eaten earth, as if the earth has been separated in two parts. The sky has fallen. The friends of Krishna are completely bewildered. Upon hearing this from Krishna's playmates, Mother Yashoda, who was always full of anxiety over Krishna's welfare, picked Krishna up with her hands to look into his mouth and chastise him. Her eyes fearful, she spoke to her son as follows. This point I have contemplated many, many times, my dear friend. I have contemplated this many, many times. Right? Mother Yashoda was always contemplating about the welfare of Krishna. When I have meditated on this, I always felt I'm always thinking only about my spiritual welfare. I'm only concerned whether I have really progressed in my spiritual understanding. And as far as Krishna is concerned, this idea very much is there within me, within my consciousness. Krishna is anyway full. He is God. He is the absolute truth. What welfare I can think about him? So, dear devotees, this contemplation we don't make. We don't make this contemplation. Why? Because we don't have that love for Krishna where we can think welfare about Krishna. Yes, we are told, so I go I'm making all these Bhagavad Gita videos, right? Why I make? One of the possible ways probably because I have been teaching in colleges since 1990 or rather I would say 1988. So this is almost like 32 years of teaching. So it may be, I like speaking. A teacher, what best? A teacher is not a businessman. Teacher doesn't have many other histrionics that normally others would have. So my only histrionic is I can go and speak. So when Krishna consciousness came to me, I can speak in so many ways. That's fascinating. Okay, I can do it. But if I really go core to the topic of spontaneous attraction to Krishna, let me tell you, I'm nowhere near. Nowhere. Like the friends of Krishna, they are worried. Krishna will become sick. He has eaten mud. So if you understand Krishna is God and he's eating mud, you will never think that Krishna will become sick. Now we are saying, no, they have so much of love for Krishna that they have forgotten Krishna is God. So much so, they have gone to a level where they think eating mud, Krishna, will cause a great damage to Krishna. These are all very intriguing pastime, my dear friends. Anyway, I have to be very grateful to Vrindavan Das Thakur. I have read all these things. Before I didn't question this. I have read that very, statement in Chaitanya Bhagavat where Vrindavan Das Thakur is saying Krishna's pastimes are very incomprehensible. I've gone through that. I've gone. But questions were not raised. So why? You know that in the beginning when you came to Krishna consciousness, you started asking some question. But after some time, you stop asking question. So when you have stopped asking question, you must realize you are not progressing in Krishna consciousness. I can give you 100% guarantee. In fact, if you ask me, write down all your questions. They will make many, many books. I don't have answer to many questions. And as yesterday I was telling you, in the beginning I was reading books from here, there and there and there and there. Later I realized, no, just reading books like that, you don't gain anything. Unless my philosophical underpinning is in right place, all this reading are not going to help us. At least that is what I have taken for myself. Upon hearing this from Krishna's playmates, Mother Yashoda was full of anxiety over Krishna's welfare, picked Kṛṣṇa up with her hands to look into his mouth, chastise him. Her eyes fearful, she spoke to her son as follows. We do that. I've seen my small kids. Anything they will get in their hand, even a leaf, they'll put in their mouth. And all my daughters, they had worms. We have to always give them once in a month. I have forgotten, some gentle like syrup. We have to give them. Right? So for a mother, so now Yashoda is a divine lady. That's we understand. Yes? Yes, sir. Yashoda is a divine lady. So then, in the divinity, how this concern comes that Krishna will become diseased? Did you ever ask this question, dear friends? No. Why you don't ask this question? Because you are taking everything as a storyline in your own plane. You never ask question. You never. This is the shocking aspect of our reading Bhagavatam. Dear Kṛṣṇa, Mother Yashoda she has caught hold of Kṛṣṇa. And after catching hold of Krishna's hand, she is angry. Angry not because something goes wrong with Kṛṣṇa. Dear Kṛṣṇa, why are you so restless that you have eaten dirt in a solitary place? This complaint has been lodged against you by all your playmates, including your elder brother, Balaram. How is this? Lord Sri Krishna replied, My dear mother, I have never eaten dirt. From Krishna's perspective, everything is absolute. All my friends complaining against me are liars. How can Krishna tell all his wonderful devotees to be liars? If you think they are being truthful, you can directly look into my mouth and examine it. Pratyaksham. Mother Yashoda challenged Krishna. If you have not eaten earth, then open your mouth wide. When challenged by his mother in this way, Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda, to exhibit pastimes like a human child, opened his mouth. Although the Supreme Personality of Godhead Kṛṣṇa, who is full of all opulences, did not disturb his mother's parental affection. His opulence was automatically displayed. For Krishna's opulence is never lost at any stage, but is manifest at the proper time. So Krishna was challenged by Mother Yashoda. Open your mouth. So Krishna's body is not a human body. Like if I open my mouth, what you will see? Some teeth, a tongue, and maybe some bad odor that would come out from my mouth. But Yashoda dared to ask Krishna, please open your mouth. The absolute truth has been ordered to open the mouth. When Krishna opened his mouth wide by the order of Mother Yashoda, she saw within his mouth all moving and non-moving entities, outer space and all directions, along with mountains, islands, ocean, the surface of the earth, the blowing wind, fire, the moon, the stars. She saw the planetary systems, water, light, air, sky. Normally, water, light, air, there's 5 elements you don't see, right? And Mother Yashoda, it seems she's seeing all these elements as well. And creation by the transformation of Ahankara. That means it looks like Mother Yashoda saw 24 elements. She also saw the senses, mind and sense perception. So, 24 elements. 3 qualities, goodness, passion and ignorance. It is very tough to see. And Mother Yashoda was allowed to see mode of passion, mode of ignorance and mode of goodness. Possibly we can experience mode of goodness and mode of passion. But Mother Yashoda saw them. She saw the time allotted for the living entities. I made a little mistake there. Mother Yashoda saw the 3 modes of material nature without being affected by it. Whereas when we say mode of goodness or passion, we experience their influence upon us. We don't see. Try to understand this. We don't see mode of goodness, we don't see mode of passion, we don't see mode of ignorance, but we can experience their influence upon us. But Mother Yashoda saw 24 elements. Dear devotees, sometime people were asking me, Mother Yashoda and Gopas, Gopis, they are very unintelligent. Our knowledge is based on what Krishna reveals to us. I have not seen 5 elements because Krishna has not revealed those 5 elements to me. That means I don't have love for Krishna. If I have love for Krishna, Krishna will surely reveal that, if that is necessary for my service. She saw the time allotted for the living entities. She saw natural instinct and the reactions of karma. She saw desires and different varieties of bodies, moving and non-moving. Seeing all these aspects of cosmic manifestation along with herself and Vrindavan Dham, she became doubtful and fearful of her son's nature. So my point is, first of all, how could Yashoda see all these things? Isn't it? I don't know, even people, there are so many questions in this particular passage. It's the most difficult and intriguing passage I have ever read. It is very, very tough to go through this passage. Okay? We really don't go deep, and there is no question. How is it? Is it not inconceivable to see yourself? When I am outside, right? And I'm seeing myself somewhere else as well. Yashoda is highly confused. She is inside the mouth of Krishna, she is outside the mouth of Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita, I have asked this question, and such a shallow answer, including Radhakant Das. Dekho, now I talked to Radhakant Das, and his son Vishwambara has become big hero and has come on the screen. Not only Radhakant Das, everybody who has answered, cheap answer. Sometimes a teacher feels happy when he sees his students are one step ahead of him. When we used to do arithmetics in our school time, 9th, 10th, 11th standard, sometime you will hear the math and in your mind you will contemplate, and then you have to give it the answer. This kind of competition we used to have. And once our headmaster in one of our class, he did this competition. And somehow I did it right. And the headmaster was very happy. His face was beaming because he felt I have gone one step ahead of him. So this is like that. In spirituality, our life becomes successful when we see our students, they go ahead of us in the spiritual realization. And this we don't see. And let me tell you, majority of you, when I am talking about the senior devotees here, who have given the answer in Bhagavad Gita, you have given the answer thoughtlessly. As if you have assumed you know all these things. And some of you have given answer in such a offensive manner, I can't even tell. And this is not the way you can really progress in Krishna consciousness. I am now pointing out so many questions. This Lila, how many times you have heard this Lila, my dear friends? This is Lila you have heard, this is now, Radhakant came to my house in 2001 December. So 19 years. In 19 years, even 1 year you hear 5 times. So at least 100 times you have heard. Still, you have not asked a single question. Why you don't ask single question? Because you are highly complacent. And then what happens? We all fight based on our false ego. Based on our false ego, we fight. If I'm worried, I don't understand. How could Mother Yashoda see 24 elements? What is meaning of seeing 3 modes of material nature? Do you ever contemplate? So, let me enumerate what are the questions. During this reading, I pointed out many questions. Let me see whether you really internalize some of the questions, forget about finding the answers. My dear friends, first question. Did all these questions that I posed register Did they register within you? Or simply the storyline only registering? Oh, these questions is beyond my, and no. I'm all right with the story. Dear friends, Krishna consciousness has been diluted because of the storyline hearing of Krishna consciousness. Storyline hearing. Okay? So we started with the questions that if the Krishna is known as God among the Vrajavasis, then the way he is, of course, the God, then they should not complain that he is stealing. Right? If Krishna is God, he has right to steal, so what is the use of complaining? First question you should ask. You start answering that question. And the next is, suppose they understand Krishna is God and they don't complain, would that be joyful for Krishna? In fact, Krishna enjoys the fear that are being created by Mother Yashoda's stick. The complaint of Mother Yashoda's friends, they come with a complaint. And Krishna is fearful. Mother Yashoda may hit me at any time. How can we understand all these ideas or all these activities? They are incomprehensible. They are incomprehensible. It is a fact. So my question was that Queen Kunti says all these activities that happen in Vrindavan was incomprehensible to her. But we have never contemplated on these activities as deep as Queen Kunti did. This is the distinction. This is the first. And there are so many questions you can ask. And then the next question I raised, where is sickness in transcendental realm? In the divine realm, we say there is no birth, death, old age and disease. So when he say that there is no birth, death or old age and disease, why Krishna's friends, including Balaram, were fearful about Krishna's health? And the very point I told earlier, that do I have that feeling of Krishna's welfare? I can go, as of now also I can go. I am ready to debate with very powerful gurus who have many million followers now in India and outside India also they have followers. I am ready, I can do that. But I don't think that I have that sense with me that I feel welfare of Krishna. What is this welfare of Krishna for a devotee? Because Krishna is absolute truth. What is meaning of this welfare? Did you ever ask this question? And finally, I am asking this question that Mother Yashoda is seeing Krishna's mouth. First of all, in one sense, once you recognize Krishna is absolute truth, how an ordinary person like Mother Yashoda is able to order Krishna, open your mouth. Let us do a direct proof. And second point, after she opened, we are going to, and she's seeing all these wonderful things. So dear devotees, I'm going to stop now, and I would like to, like you to contemplate on these questions. And tomorrow, I'm going to answer some of these questions. And it is not that I know answers to all these questions. Literally, I don't know most of them. And it is not possible, as I told you, that why we should finally ask these questions, because ultimately, everything that is happening in the spiritual realm is not subjected to any question. But doesn't mean that we should not ask questions, because asking questions, we come to that conclusion that we cannot comprehend Krishna's pastime. And we have not done enough. So I have taken a very simple pastimes of Krishna. All of you heard about this pastime hundreds of times, but you have never contemplated. And for the first time, in my 20 years, being inspired by Vrindavan Das Thakur, I have taken this courageous step to do this. I don't know how much I'll be successful. And whether you people are feeling bored, I don't know, because unless you are very deep, you won't feel, because this is a simple topic, right? Mother Yashoda opened the mouth of Krishna and so appeared to be a very small story. One story of Krishna is enough to contemplate. One story of Krishna is enough to contemplate and transcend this mortal world and go back to Godhead, my dear friend. We don't have to go for collecting thousands of stories about Krishna. And that's what I have seen rush in among the devotees to know this and that. One story. Penetrate into one story, my dear friend. What is the depth of that story you have reached? So tomorrow I am going to take the same subject. I will again read also from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's. But I have given you a lot of input, a lot of thought for asking this question to yourself, and start writing those questions, start giving the answers, start raising your questions again and again, and then there will be a lot of churning there. So thank you very much. We have crossed the time. I would like to finish every day 9:30. So this is 9:39. Thank you, dear devotees, for hearing. Let me see what you people thought about this presentation. Anmol Avasti is saying, if you look at some sannyasi or some brahmana, are we not seeing mode of goodness in them, even without experiencing them? My dear Anmol, you are seeing only dress. You are only in the dress. To be able to see mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance, the way Mother Yashoda saw, you have to become a pure devotee. Welfare of Krishna could mean happiness of Krishna in one way. Obviously, welfare of Krishna. No, welfare of Krishna is not simply happiness for Krishna. Of course, happiness of Krishna. Welfare of Krishna means be concerned about Krishna. Like, when Krishna goes to the forest, Mother Yashoda is thinking, Krishna is going empty foot, bare feet. He is traveling in bare feet. There will be many thorns in the forest. It may prick the soft feet of Krishna. And that is pinching Mother Yashoda. Like suppose you have a deity in your house. Do you ever feel, I have been serving Krishna here 20 years now. I don't think that I got a sense, I'm feeling that Nrsimhadev is feeling hungry. I don't think that, I don't have to lie about it. I have not felt Nrsimhadev is feeling hungry. These are the topics. Narayani Mataji is saying, sir, such questions we never contemplated. Yes, we don't contemplate. We don't contemplate, and that is why we don't also make any progress. And after some time, we look for Babas in Radhakund and here and there. And we think that they will do some miracle. Some tamburu or something, they will vibrate and some miracle would happen. Devendra Upadhyay is saying, sir, thank you for taking us through this process of deep questions and answers. I never think so deep, but this discourse is giving opportunity to think these concepts again and again and contemplate more and more. That is the role of a teacher. Role of a teacher. If teacher has taken stories as stories, he is also going to tell the same way. So if teacher has not asked this question, if teacher, this very point, Anmol made a very nice statement. Sir, you told everything in spiritual world is an axiom. There is no role of why. But to get to that idea, yes, everything that happens in the spiritual realm is an absolute. You can't question why, but to reach that, you have to raise such questions. By raising such questions, you will have that idea. Yes, spiritual world is like this. And then you will never complain anything about this material world. Never. Sudhir Jalalimudi is saying in Chaitanya Bhagavat 7.107, Advaita Acharya says to devotees who are crying in separation from Vishwarup that don't lament. All you devotees will receive mercy that even Sukadeva Goswami, Prahlad Maharaj didn't get. Can you please explain it? This Sudhir, Jalalimudi is completely, is out of the, we talked about Mother Yashoda sing. Nobody is asking these questions. At least somebody should have come forward and said, oh, I think that this question I can answer, or this question I understand this way. Instead, he is going and asking, that is obvious that, even if I say you, it's not that you will understand anything. Most of us, we don't understand most of the things that we hear from Bhagavatam because we have a shallow consciousness. So the point here is that he's saying that Sukadeva Goswami, Prahlad Maharaj and all those people, they have not received the highest understanding of the absolute truth in the form of Sri Krishna, the way the Gopas and Gopis and others, they understand. and the science has not been revealed so detailed, and hence, and Mahaprabhu would make it open. So that was, anyway, this is something, this is a topic that requires a lot of deliberation. I'll keep that for another day. Today, I am looking for question. Professor Abhay Chaitanya is saying, in our spiritual life, whatever we do, the objective is always our own spiritual welfare. Even when we try to please spiritual master or Krishna, the motive remains again our own welfare. To please only Krishna without thinking about ourselves has never come to me. Yeah, that is why we don't progress. Only when we, this particular, let me tell you, this particular Leela, I heard it in I read it 1990, 1990 I read it. I'm forgetting some Ramananda, some Odia writer, he written a book on, and that book he was giving this example of Narada, coming or moving with a message that Krishna is sick. Then he is going one after another and saying that Krishna wants your dust. If he applies that to his head, then he will be all right. And we know that everybody chastises Narada. He says, you want to send me in the hell? So that is what our thinking, our own spiritual welfare. But when Narada met gopis, they said, oh, take all our dust, let Krishna be cured. And Narada said, are you not afraid of going to hell? Or so what? We are ready to suffer in hell for time eternal, as long as Krishna is all right. 1990, when I didn't know anything about Krishna consciousness, and still this whole pastime is a riddle. It's a riddle for me because I have not gone to that level. It's a riddle. Madhusudan Mukundas is thinking of welfare of Krishna also synonymous with the concern for preaching services related to Krishna conscious movement. There are stages. There are different stages. Srila Prabhupada going and preaching all over the world is not our going out and preaching. No. This question that we are raising is for us. So Prabhupada, when he is preaching from the Madhyama platform. In the Uttama platform, he is concerned like the gopis and gopas about Krishna. But for preaching, you come down to mundane level and delineate soul from the body. You categorize different level of consciousness. For us, this is not the stage. We are not that high pedestal. Now we have personally come down, and now we are speaking. No. So when we are doing learn Gita, live Gita, it's only for our purification, which has to be done. You cannot simply say, oh, I don't have love for Krishna. Yes, I don't have love for Krishna. It's obvious I don't have love for Krishna. If I have love for Krishna, then how can I see? This is my house, this is my car, this is my position, this is my flat. I'm seeing all these things. That means I don't have love for Krishna. Okay. So, thank you very much. Tomorrow we will have more brainstorming on a simple, intriguing question, intriguing Lila of Krishna. Mother Yashoda is seeing his mouth. There are many questions also I have not raised. I would like to see how you people are doing. Tomorrow I am going to read from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary, and we will conclude that. Once I do this properly, then I will go to the next one. Thank you very much again. Hare Krishna.